Hey guys, how's it going? Tong here. Today I want to take a look at some Symbian devices. So, as most people know, Symbian is the operating system that was used by Nokia for many years until they switched over to Windows Phone. And for many years, Symbian was really associated with Nokia, but ironically, I'm going to start out with a non-Nokia device, the Sony Ericsson. This is the Sony Ericsson P990 and is one of the earlier phones that I have. I don't count the Nokia N-Gage, which came out in 2004. But this guy came out in 2006, and one of the unique things about it is that it has the normal keypad right here that you can use to make phone calls with, but it also flips down and has a QWERTY keyboard, which is really interesting. I mean, this QWERTY keyboard is small and it's very cramped, but I mean, you can type on it. It's it's not as bad as the Cyberco Extreme. That's one of the worst keypads I've ever used, but this keyboard is okay. It's for the size, I mean. For the size, it is cramped, but I can still type and get my letters correct without much difficulty here. Um, but obviously, it could be better, and this is one of the unique things about this device, that it comes with two keypads. It comes with a numeric keypad for making phone calls, and it has a normal call and hang up and back button here, and D-pad. And it also comes with a QWERTY keyboard underneath, which is really cool. It has a slider scrolling on the side here, play and pause, so it does media capabilities, obviously, and on button there. It has a camera at the back. You can actually slide it to close the lens and reveal the lens. Self-portrait mirror there too. And a memory stick dual slot, which of course is expected since this is a Sony device. And a camera shutter button right here. So yeah, this is the Sony Ericsson P990 from 2006, runs Symbian. Okay, the next I have Nokia E70. And what I like about a lot of Nokia devices is their design. I think next to Sony, both Nokia and Sony have devices with good design. So I think that's why I have a lot of Sony and Nokia devices, and I like collecting them because I think they have really good design. So this is a Nokia E70 from 2006 as well. And this is a very Nokia thing. You can tell this is a Nokia because they always have these buttons here that are color coded, and you have one that hangs up, and the other one that's used for the menu. Also your normal D-pad one here. And the unique thing about this one, the E70 is designed for business users. The E series is a business line. And the unique thing about this is that the QWERTY keyboard is actually revealed by opening this phone up this way. So you can actually open the phone up like that. So like I said, with the Sony Ericsson, this one is cool because it has dual keyboards, numeric keypad and a QWERTY keyboard. This one is the same. It has a numeric keypad here for calling, and it also opens up to reveal a QWERTY keyboard in a very cool way. And that makes it very interesting to me. And I haven't seen other phones do this before, but it is a very cool design, and I love Nokia and Sony's design. It's pretty amazing that and they have the split keyboard, which is definitely less cramped than the Sony Ericsson's keypad. But you just have to get used to using it in a split keyboard kind of way. So since it's split on two sides, you have to get used to that. But otherwise, it is more roomy, and I like how Nokia designed it that way. And if you want to call people, you just flip it back, and then it's in the normal phone shape now. So, and then you have the record button here, a camera on the back, and charger on the bottom. And that's it. There's Nokia E70. So I'm going to go on with the E series. I have the Nokia E90 here, communicator. A lot of people realize that the communicator is one of the most popular Nokia devices because it is one of the first smartphones ever released, I think. The Nokia communicator, the original one, was definitely ahead of its time, and this is the very last one made, the E90 communicator back in 2007. This was actually the last one, and it's very unique because all Nokia communicators have dual screens. This one is no exception. It has a screen on the front which looks exactly just like a normal mobile phone. It looks just like a normal mobile Nokia phone. right here, but you can actually open it up and then it reveals a second display. And from this display, you can move around and then look at Symbian apps, because these phones all run Symbian, so you can install your Symbian apps and then use the full QWERTY keyboard here. And it even has shortcuts for desk, contacts, messaging, web, very PDA style right there. Actually, this reminds me more of a handheld PC than a PDA. But anyways, it's very cool. This is Nokia E90, the last in the communicator series, the famous communicator series. And has a camera on the back as well. Typical Nokia, which they like to focus on their camera capabilities as well as their design. But this being an E series, obviously, it's more focused on the business capabilities and the ability to type using a physical keyboard more than the multimedia features. So yeah, this is the E90. Also really cool design. And moving on, I have the Nokia 5700 Express Music from the same year, 2007. So I have some other phones from 2007 too, because this was the year when Nokia was pretty much on top of its game. The iPhone hasn't really come out yet, and it just came out, the first generation, and wasn't selling like hotcakes yet. And even Android wasn't really created yet. So Nokia was at the top of the smartphone game along with BlackBerry. So they made a lot of good phones in 2007. And the Nokia Express Music is one of the music-centric phones that they made. They have the standard Nokia style buttons here, very color-coded, as all Nokia phones have. Very distinctive design. And a normal keypad here for numeric keypad for calling people. But what's unique about this one is that it can actually rotate like this, and it rotates in different ways, so you can use it differently. If you rotate it this way, you can see there's a camera here, so you can use it kind of like a camcorder and take shots or video. You can use it as a microphone, right, if you want to record something like that. And you can also flip it over to reveal controls for controlling your music. So this is very cool. Again, Nokia with the unique design has this twist shape and allows you to use it as a camera, a normal keypad, numeric keypad here for calling. If you want to use it as an MP3 player, you can, and just twist it. It's pretty cool. This is a Nokia 5700, and this is one of the more unique music phones that I've seen. Okay, and then moving on to another 2007 phone, the Nokia N93, also with a very unique design. This one is more of a camcorder style phone. So this is like a flip phone. You flip it up, and you have the normal Nokia buttons here, along with the numeric keypad. But what's cool about it is that you can also flip the display over like this. You can view it like this, so if you're watching a movie or a video here, or a picture, you can put it into this mode. And if you want to like record video and use it as a camcorder, you can do that. This has a Carl Zeiss lens camcorder here. And take off this, you can see there's a aperture 3.3 lens here, 3.2 megapixel lens, sorry, not the aperture, the megapixel is 3.2 megapixels, and it's a pretty good camcorder here for its time. And if you want to record something, just flip the screen towards you and you press the record, and then it acts like a little camcorder here, where you can record your moments, your friends, your children, what have you. And I think that's really cool. I haven't seen many phones use this design. But I love Nokia's design on a lot of its phones, and this is another very unique one, the camcorder style design. Nokia N93. The N series is known more for its media capabilities, and the E series is for business capabilities, but as you can see, this is an N series device, which means that it's focused a lot on video, music, on multimedia, things like that. This is Nokia N93. Next I have the Nokia N95, also released, believe it or not, the same year. So all these phones actually came from the same year, which is amazing that Nokia managed to release such a diverse array of phones like that. But this is one of the best Nokia phones ever, and a lot of people on many websites agree. The N95 was a really good phone when it came out because of its power. It has a really good processor. The operating system Symbian was at the height of its powers, and basically nothing was better at the time. I think at the time the original iPhone came out, but the Nokia N95 was still, in many people's opinions, better, and it was better for a while, I think, because of, like I said, it has the operating system was very mature at the time, and the quality is very good, and the capabilities, the processor, the camera was all very good, and the iPhone couldn't really compete with that at the time. And it wasn't until the third generation of iPhones, I think, that Apple actually started to be competitive with Nokia. Nokia was still at the top of its game at this time, so you have the normal keypad, and it's a dual slider, so you can actually slide it this way, and you have media controls as well. So this is a dual slider phone. You can play multimedia, and you can also take pictures using the Carl Zeiss lens. So this is a 2.8, or actually a 5 megapixel, and it's a Carl Zeiss autofocus lens with flash. They actually made another phone with the Xenon flash, not this one, but they made other camera phones as well. So Nokia has always been really great about its cameras. And yeah, this is the Nokia N95, one of the best smartphones of its time. And as you can see, it has really good for multimedia, this being the N series, and a dual slider. So yeah, N95. Moving on, I have the E71. This is from 2008, I believe, and also a very well received phone. And like the N95, it's critically acclaimed because of its good quality. I think this phone is very, very premium quality, and the maturity of the Symbian operating system at the time, and just feels really good in the hand too. It's built of premium materials. The QWERTY keyboard is very good, very tactile, easy to use. It has a standard Nokia buttons here, and it's candy bar shaped, so it's not quite a unique design as the other ones I've reviewed in this video, but definitely one of the landmarks of Nokia's career. The Nokia E71, definitely a pretty good phone, and I would actually still use it today if I had to. But I would definitely pick it over other phones of its era if I had to use it. Okay, and moving on, I have the Nokia N900. This is from 2009, I believe. So I reviewed the Nokia N810 before, where it was using the Maemo operating system, and the thing is that device couldn't make phone calls. It wasn't a smartphone, but Nokia did make it a smartphone for the next iteration, and this is the Nokia N900. So this is basically the Nokia N810 with a slightly improved processor and memory and the ability to make phone calls. Although the screen isn't as big as the Nokia N810, it has a better processor and still runs the same operating system. It runs Maemo, which is Nokia's custom operating system for its tablets, but they switched it over to their phone designs now, and this is the Nokia N800, which uses Maemo and has the same slide up vertical or a horizontal keyboard. It has the same slide up horizontal keyboard in a smaller form factor and with phone capabilities. So that's the N900. Next, I have the E7. This is the Nokia E7 from 2010. And what's unique about this one is that it runs the Nokia Symbian 3 operating system, which is one of Nokia's newer operating systems from back in the day. So the Symbian OS for a lot of these phones was actually the S60, which was running on a lot of these devices. They were S60, the Symbian 9.2, 9.3, 9.4, and Nokia decided to revamp it, first with Maemo and then with Symbian 3. And yeah, this is, they also have the N8, which is the multimedia version of Symbian 3 phone, but this one is the business version, and this being a business version, of course it has to have a physical keyboard. So let me show you. That works, just flips up like that, and it's tilting, and you have the QWERTY keyboard here, the physical keyboard. Has even an HDMI slot right here, which is really cool. Has an HDMI slot, and yeah, this is a 8 megapixel camera, and at the back, this is the Nokia E7 2010. And lastly, I have the Nokia N9, which is unique in that it's basically the last non-Windows Phone Nokia, because Nokia, as you can see from Nokia's history, first they started out with Symbian, then they revamped it with Symbian 3, and then Maemo, and then with this last iteration it came out with MeeGo, which is their own custom operating system as well that's based off of Maemo. And they only have one device that uses it, and it's Nokia N9, this one. It's a really good operating system, and it's got really good reviews, but the problem is that Nokia was really suffering from poor sales at the time. This being back in 2011 when iPhone was taking over the world, and Nokia wanted to compete better, so they made a deal with Microsoft to use Windows phones, so that was the end of that line. But it's good as a landmark phone in that Nokia's history. The Nokia N9 is here, and it is a pretty good phone, and I would still use it if I had to. And this is basically my video of Nokia's phones, of Symbian phones, and of Symbian's derivative operating systems as well, Maemo and MeeGo, and eventually Sailfish, which I will get to in another video later. But yeah, if you have any questions or comments about Nokia, about Symbian, about MeeGo, Maemo, any of these other operating systems or devices, because a lot of them I think do look cool. They're very distinct. The designs are really nice, and I haven't seen them in other phones, like this twisting design or the double keypad design or the camcorder design, dual slider design. And I really appreciate Nokia for paving the smartphone path the way it has before the iPhone came out and made all the phones like boring black squares. Yeah, that's it. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and thanks for watching. So I want to show some of you guys the Nokia N9 operating system, which is MeeGo, as a lot of you have probably never seen it before. MeeGo is an operating system that Nokia employees created to better compete with iPhone and Android, and is derived from Maemo, their previous operating system that was on the Nokia N800 tablets, and which itself was an extension or derived from Linux. So basically, this at its core is basically Linux core. So that's pretty cool. And unfortunately, Nokia only made one device that has this operating system, which is the Nokia N9, this one, before they made a deal with Microsoft that allows them to use Windows Phone on all their other devices, all their subsequent devices. So basically, this is the only device that runs MeeGo. And as you can see, all the interface is pretty colorful. It's very fluid, so it's very conducive to multi-touch users, and all the icons are very bright and colorful. If you can do your basic stuff like listen to music here, and you just swipe down like this. You can see this. You can tell that this operating system is ahead of its time, I think. If you try to all the gestures and stuff are very, very fluid, and I think it's ahead of its time. Contact, swipe back, messages. I have to have a Nokia account to use a lot of this stuff, so that's why I don't have it. The camera is just a okay camera. It is a Carl Zeiss lens, but I don't think the camera is as good as the Lumia's camera. But yeah, we have all your basic apps here, your social messaging apps, and some other apps you can download, but not as many as for iOS or Android. And yeah, this is MeeGo. Let's see, this way is so cool. Just swipe left so you see your most recently used apps. That's your calendar. I guess you can put widgets on there too. And you can swipe down from the top. If you go in your app, you can swipe down from the top as well, which is pretty cool. And it's very, very fluid. It's got this nice elastic band shift. And here's a game for MeeGo. EA. Challenge everything. Need for Speed. The graphics are not bad for a phone from 2011. Actually, not too bad. Yeah, not very good at this game. Anyways, yeah, this is Migo, and I think the operating system was pretty good, and it's unfortunate that Nokia had to discontinue it, but the vestiges of this operating system, the leftovers of the employees who made Migo, actually went on to form a company called Yola. I think that's what it's pronounced, Yola, which created an operating system called Sailfish. So Sailfish is a new operating system that is basically derived from Migo, which is derived from Maemo, which is derived from Linux. So you can find Migo's successor in the Yola phone, the Sailfish OS, and I think you would find something kind of similar to this one, except should be improved. So yeah, that's Migo, and I think like WebOS from Palm, they should be given another chance, and it's unfortunate that iOS and Android kind of beat it out of the market, and we only have a few proprietary operating systems left that are not Android or iOS. We have Tizen by Samsung, which I don't have a phone out right now that uses it, and Sailfish from Yola, which is derived from this operating system, and then we have BlackBerry OS. They're still going strong with their operating system, and Fire OS by Amazon, and WebOS, which is not used anymore, it's discontinued. So there's a few Maverick operating systems out there, but this is one of the better ones, I think. And yeah, this is Migo Nokia N9. One little quirk about this phone is that the charging port is actually on the top, which is something I've never really seen on phones before, is having it on top. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions about Migo or any of the Nokia devices, or Maemo or Symbian or Sailfish, anything like that. That's it.